All right, so let's get back to pinning the front. The most important part, like I was mentioning before, is catching the notch. If you can see it here, there's a little notch right here. That's something that you need to make sure it gets caught in the fold. So we're gonna go ahead and pin very closely and very carefully, making sure the notch is safely tucked in there. This is probably one of the few times I'm actually using pins instead of clips. Alright. This is where the good pressing, hefty pressing comes into play. They should stay very easily together because you've given them a good press. So this is the left side goes away. This is the right side pin, and we're gonna go ahead and do a stitch around it, making sure the notch stays pinned and stays inside. So I'm gonna move this slowly over to my machine. And I'll start from the bottom just to make sure the notch stays in place. If you have any hemming tape or fusible web, you can definitely use that to keep this in place instead of pinning. I don't like sewing over my pins, so I make sure I take them all out. Always back stitch. And we have the first side of the plackets. I'm gonna give it a good press right now, and then I'll come back with the other side. So for the other side, we're gonna basically repeat what we've done, a little easier because there is no notch this time around. So making sure this press this on the inside, just fold. As you can see, the 1/4 of an inch we pressed earlier is right there. It makes it super easy for us to fold. Put a couple of pins. Make sure your bottom stays folded. This way all the seams are enclosed. And it's nice and neat. This is the wearer's left side. Oops, this pin wanted to run away. There you go. This is what it looks like pin, and we're gonna go ahead and do a straight stitch, like an L shape, from the top to the bottom. And then the last step will be to put them together. Super easy. We're gonna pivot here, back stitch, and then we'll flip the shirt right side out and just press, put the bottoms. I like to bring my wearer, so the wearer's left side on top of the wearer's right side. I'm gonna use a pin for the top. And then basically on the bottom, we're just gonna go ahead and do a couple of stitches here on the bottom, like a little square of stitches to make sure it stays in place. And that's pretty much it for the placket. Make sure you mark your buttonholes and button spots. Let me go ahead and do this real quick so I can show you how it looks like all finished. And then you're all set. See, it wasn't that difficult. I find the most difficult part is to make sure you catch the notch. Once you've caught the notch in the first part, then you should be all good. Invest in some starch spray or some best press. A good iron with a lot of steam. Always have your iron hot. And then you're good to go. This is a woven pattern, but you can use the same principles for a knit pattern when you do a Henley placket. If you use the Yoho Henley or the women's Henley or the men's Henley, basically you'll be doing the same thing, because once you've interfaced it, it will be very sturdy, like a woven for you. All right, so I've sewn my bottom tab. Do a little thread cleaning, and you're all done. So all you have to remember now, there you have it. That's the Henley style placket on the blouse, on the branch blouse. Once you've done that, make sure you mark your buttonholes or snaps if you want to use. You can get creative with those, make them like a different pop of color. And that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments of the blog or in the group, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.